Hello everyone, I just wanted to take a moment to teach you about the extensor attachment, the wrist extensor attachment in your forearm, and teach you a couple really great self-care massage strategies that you can do right at home. So the first step is identifying the extensor attachment. This movement where you lift your wrist, so this is the back side of my hand, lifting my wrist, is called wrist extension. Wrist extension recruits the extensors. The extensor attachment is up here closer to the elbow. You can see it jumping in my forearm as I do that wrist extension. So for you, you're gonna find the back side between the two arm bones, so the radius and the ulna. You're gonna trace that line all the way up to the elbow, and you're gonna go back and forth. Make sure you have enough pressure to drag the skin with you back and forth over this area as you lift your forearm. So back and forth over the area. Eventually, you should identify that muscle that's popping up when you do the wrist extension. So when you've found that muscle, you're going to take the three middle fingers into that spot, and you're just going to sink down into it. So this may be a little bit sensitive. If it's overly sensitive, just sort of relax back. If you don't feel very much, you can sink it a little bit more, but it should not be sharply painful. So it should sort of feel like a dull ache and a very, very pleasant dull ache. So you're going to sink down into that, the extensor attachment. And now for a little bit more sensation, as you've drawn those fingers down into the muscle, you're going to lift up real gently with that wrist. And if your fingers pop off with the contraction of the muscle, just sort of gently sink them back in again and modify that wrist extension so that you can kind of hang on to it as it comes up. Excellent. And the next strategy, you're going to use these three muscles, sink down in, and then you're going to gently draw the muscle. So you're going to pull it with you towards the elbow. And you just repeat that, draw in, pull it with you, in, pull it with you. Beautiful. Very nice job. Next strategy is a broader approach. So this may be a little too sharp and painful, or you're not able to generate enough compression. So you can move to a broader compression. You're going to take the opposite hand, you're going to wrap it around the forearm. The thumb's going to end up in the spot where those extensors are. So again, you may go back and forth, do the wrist extension movement until you find the muscle. And you may have to settle back just a little bit until you find that muscle kind of popping up. What you're going to do is you're going to squeeze. I'm going to push my thumb into the muscle and just hang out. And that may be enough to generate just that gentle ache. Nothing sharp. You shouldn't have any numbness or tingling. It shouldn't continue to get worse. It should feel pretty pleasant. To add to that, you can start to draw the thumb towards the elbow. So you're going to sink in and draw it towards the elbow. And you can do it as a repetition, but make sure you're really sunk into that muscle. So you don't want to be on the surface of it. You really want to grab it and draw it into the elbow. Sink down, draw it into the elbow. Excellent. And you may want to hang out here for a little bit. So let that muscle relax under the compression of your thumb. And if you need a little bit more sensation, you start to gently lift the fingers and the wrists very gently. And you may feel a little bit more sensation. Great. And then relax off that. You can grab the area and just sort of gently compress and move. I like to move everything towards the elbow just in case there's an injury here. Drawing away from it can exacerbate the injury. It's always best to check in with your doctor before attempting any of these. You can create a lot of irritation if you overwork this particular area. And if you're noticing that the area is becoming more and more sensitive, then you need to stop doing the self-massage. For mild cases, this can be really useful, but you may have to be pretty careful if this is a sharper, more exquisitely painful injury. The massage can actually make it worse. So just make sure you talk to somebody before engaging in this. I'm here and happy to help if you have any questions. I hope this was useful, and I hope these extensor tendons feel a lot better after these massage techniques. Thank you and have a wonderful day.